This video will explain to you how sports betting odds work in an easy fashion. I'm Professor MJ, University Statistics teacher from Quebec City in Canada, and I have been crushing online sportsbooks since 1999. Before you place your very first bet, you need to have the basics down. It all starts with understanding the odds posted by bookies. What do they mean? How do I know how much I can win when betting on a certain team? This video will be split into two parts: decimal odds and American odds. If you are serious about becoming a winning sports gambler, it is very important to understand both types of odds. Why? You will see why when you watch other videos I made about a couple of betting methods that will help you rack up some profit. Arbitrage betting and value betting. You need to be able to switch from one type of odds to the other quickly in order to use these money-making methods. Trust me, it is worth the effort. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll! Part number 1 focuses on decimal odds. In order to make the concepts easier to understand, I will use the lines in decimal format on Super Bowl 51, played February 5, 2017 at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The game involved the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. There are three types of bets here: the money line, the spread, and the total. Let me explain each of them one by one. Let's start with the money line. You are simply betting on which team is going to win the game. Period. The numbers are used to determine how much you can earn when betting a certain amount of money. All you need to do is multiply the amount you are willing to risk by the corresponding money line to figure out your potential return, which includes your initial bet, by the way. For example, the money line on the Patriots was 1.719. If you wanted to bet $60 on the Patriots to win the game straight up, your potential return would have been $60 times 1.719 equals $103.14. In other words, you were risking $60 trying to win a 43.14 net profit, where the net profit was obtained by calculating 103.14 minus 60. How about the case of another gambler willing to risk the same $60 amount, but this time on the Falcons to win? Since the money line was 2.26, the potential return was $60 times 2.26 equals $135.60. That's the equivalent to a net profit of 135.60 minus $60 equals $75.60. Let's recap. A person risking $60 on the Pats was looking at a potential $43 profit, while a similar bet on the Falcons was yielding a potential $75.60 profit. The higher return on the Falcons is simply an indication of them being viewed as the underdogs, the least likely team to win the game, while the Patriots were established as the favorites. We now turn our attention to the column called spread. When betting the money line, you are trying to figure out which team is going to win the game. When betting the spread, the margin of victory is what matters. You may lose your bet even though your team won the game, just like you could win your bet despite your team losing the match. In the Super Bowl example, the spread on the Patriots looked like this: minus 3 points at 2.09 odds. Just focus on the minus 3 for now. The minus sign indicates you need to look at the final score and deduct 3 points from the Patriots score. If they still beat the Falcons, after subtracting those 3 points, you win the bet. The final score from that game turned out to be 34-28 in favor of New England in overtime. After making the 3-point adjustment, the final score became 31-28 for New England. So a spread bet on the Patriots was a winner. In plain words, betting the Patriots -3 means you expect them to win by more than 3 points. If they win by 3 points exactly, your bet is refunded. If they win by 1 or 2 points, or if they lose the game, your money is gone. Recall how the line showed up as Patriots -3 points at 2.09 odds. I've already explained the -3 part. What about the 2.09? This figure, just like the money line, dictates how much you can win based on the risk amount. It works exactly the same way as the money line. Multiply the amount you are willing to risk by this number, and you end up with your potential return. So, if you wanted to bet the Patriots against the spread at -3 points for $200, your potential return would have been $200 times 2.09 equals $418, which is a $218 potential net profit. Betting the spread on the Falcons functions in a similar way. Remember, the line was Falcons +3 points at 1.833 odds. The +3 part means you need to add 3 points to the Falcons score to verify if your bet was a winner or not. It basically means you are going to win your bet either if the Falcons win the game by any margin, or if they lose by less than 3 points. Again, your bet gets refunded if they lose by a 3-point deficit exactly. Your money is gone if Atlanta loses by 4+ points. This time, your potential return can be calculated by using the 1.833 figure. Generally speaking, when the spread on a given team is -X, it means they have to win by more than X points for your bet to win. Such a team is therefore established as the favorite. On the other hand, a spread of +X on a given team means they have to either lose by less than X points or win the game for your bet to be declared a winner. In this case, we are talking about the underdog. The last column of the table concerns totals. Nothing complicated here. We are betting whether the total number of points scored by both teams combined will exceed a certain number or not. In the Patriots versus Falcons example, the line was set at 57. If you believed more than 57 points would be scored in this game, you needed to bet the over. As you can see, the potential return on such a bet could have been calculated by using the 2.0 number. If you expected less than 57 points to be scored, you needed to bet the under, with the associated 1.91 multiplier. Had exactly 57 points been scored during Super Bowl 51, all bets on totals would have been refunded. Congratulations! You should now be able to understand odds on any sporting event in decimal format. As mentioned in the introduction, it is also very important to understand American odds. You will find a crash course on the topic in the following section. Part number 2: Understanding American odds. The table appearing on your screen right now is the analog to the previous one we saw on the New England versus Atlanta meeting, but this time shown in American format. As you can see, the money line on the Patriots was -139. It means you needed to risk $139 if you wished to earn a $100 profit, which corresponds to a potential return of 139 plus 100 equals 239. But what if you wanted to bet an amount that differs from 139? How do you calculate the potential return? Here is how to convert negative American odds into decimal odds. -X in American odds is identical to X plus 100 divided by X in decimal odds. In the New England example, it means minus 139 odds in American format becomes 139 plus 100 divided by 139, which equals to 1.719 in decimal odds, which is the exact same number we saw in the first table when we discussed decimal odds. Let's move on to the Falcons moneyline, plus 126. It means risking $100 yields a 126 potential profit, which corresponds to a potential return of 100 plus 126 equals 226. Let me show you how to convert positive American odds into decimal odds. Plus x in American odds is identical to x plus 100 divided by 100 in decimal odds. The formula above implies that plus 126 in American format becomes 126 plus 100 divided by 100, which is equal to 2.26 in decimal format. That's exactly what we had previously when we reviewed decimal odds format. That's it! You now have what it takes to understand how sport betting odds work, both in decimal and American format. You are now ready to take the next step, making money in the exciting sport betting world. In order to do so, let me help you out. This YouTube channel has a lot of useful videos, but I would like to direct you towards a couple of lucrative betting methods that I unveiled in some videos. Believe it or not, you can bet on sports while having a 100% chance of earning a profit via a method called arbitrage betting. That's what I did full-time from 1999 to 2003 because it was so lucrative back then. It can still work these days, but it requires more work. I also strongly recommend that you take a look at the video entitled Value Betting, which is the technique I use the most nowadays. So, with your knowledge about decimal and American odds, I invite you to watch the arbitrage betting and value betting videos that will hopefully lead you to earn several thousands of dollars with sports bets. I'm Professor MJ, PhD in statistics. I'll see you in these two videos, my friend.